Coverage though?
Yeah. But that's typically harder, I think, the zones for quarterbacks. I'm gonna say they made a bad decision. They should have got Shedeur Sanders. And like, maybe I was looking at tape, because he's not bad. Jackson Dart's not a bad quarterback. And you're comparing him to Josh Allen. It makes sense. I want a guy like Josh Allen too. Like, every team wants that. Until you really watch him, he looks nothing like Josh Allen. Where at? Arm strength? They not even the same class.
No.
And then we keep talking about all this, like this mobility and scramble and all that. Like, he don't run like Josh Allen.
Giants considering trading up for a quarterback, Jackson Dart, later in the first round. Bad businesses tend to overcompensate for previous mistakes and reach. So the idea the Giants now think Jackson Dart is the dude for the future in New York. Let me just ask you this. You ever notice that a lot of the quarterbacks that don't make it, you weren't paying a lot of attention to in college, and they suddenly got really...
What if I told you the New York Giants may have just thrown away their future on draft night, while Shedeur Sanders, one of the most NFL-ready quarterbacks in years, sat waiting? The Giants made a bold and shocking move. They passed on him. Instead, they went all in on Jackson Dart, a risky prospect with flashes of potential, but nowhere near Sanders' consistency. And now, only weeks later, that decision is aging like milk. Reports coming out of OTAs are raising serious red flags, with coaches questioning the pick, and even NFL legends calling it a disaster in the making. Did the Giants just ruin their next 5 years with one bad decision? Or is this all premature panic? Let's break it down. The moment the Giants chose Jackson Dart over Shedeur Sanders, it felt like a move driven by fear, not strategy, and the backlash was immediate. Former players, analysts, fans, and even icons like Tom Brady and Michael Irvin were stunned. Now, just a short time into off-season workouts, regret is already bubbling to the surface in New York. From the start, something felt off. Dart wasn't lighting up college football the way Sanders was. Shedeur had proven himself against top-tier competition, showing Giants take such a massive gamble.
Roster right now is not good enough to keep their jobs for another year. They're going to lose a bunch. And Jackson Dart is not a tantalizing enough prospect for everyone to want to see it through. So they're not going to say, oh, why don't you stay on and develop these guys? So then you get the worst thing you could possibly get, which is a regime change in the middle of a rookie quarterback's contract when the rookie isn't anointed as the chosen one, and then things get lost. That's why I don't like it from time to time.
That's the question everyone's asking now, and the early signs aren't helping. Reports from Giants OTAs have painted a picture fans were praying wouldn't be real. Accuracy issues, shaky reads, and a clear lack of command in the huddle. Day by day, it's becoming more obvious that Dart might not be ready for the NFL spotlight. One source close to the team even admitted that members of the coaching staff are already wondering if they backed the wrong quarterback. And it gets worse. Dart was heavily hyped during the pre-draft process, with some people even daring to compare him to Josh Allen. Let's stop right there. Comparing Jackson Dart to Josh Allen is like comparing a matchstick to a blowtorch. Yes, they're both quarterbacks, but that's where the similarities end. Josh Allen has elite arm strength, ridiculous mobility, and that rare it factor. Dart is still figuring out the basics, and it shows. Now, let's talk Shedeur Sanders. He's been calm and composed under pressure since day one. Whether he's threading needles between defenders or escaping collapsing pockets with ease, he doesn't just play quarterback, he commands the entire field. And yet, somehow, he slid through the first round untouched. Michael Irvin called it unbelievable, and he's not. Leaving Shedeur on the board felt like pure negligence.
The value we put on quarterbacks in this league, that's shocking that Shedeur Sanders did not get drafted last night. That's just, and asking me what was the reason.
Irvin wasn't the only one stunned. Boomer Esiason didn't hold back either, saying outright that Dart isn't the type of quarterback NFL teams typically want, even calling him a mute QB, essentially suggesting he lacks the presence or personality to lead a team. Harsh, but if true, devastating for a franchise like the Giants, who've been desperate for a quarterback identity for years. Then there's LeSean McCoy, whose reaction was pure confusion. He flat out said Dart isn't in the same class as Josh Allen. Not in arm strength, movement, or presence, and again pointed to Shedeur Sanders as the one with the higher ceiling and the calm, confident leadership the Giants desperately need. But instead, New York chased a comparison that never made sense. What makes it worse is that they didn't just let Sanders slip, they traded up to get Dart. a move that looks like a decision that could cost people their jobs. Even Tom Brady weighed in, not to criticize Dart, but to encourage Shedeur, revealing he personally texted Sanders after the draft, reminding him that he himself was picked 199th and still became a legend, a message that quietly implied Shedeur deserved better. Colin Cowherd didn't mince words either, calling the Giants' choice a classic case of overcompensation, arguing they drafted Dart not for what he is, but for what they hope he becomes, a mindset that almost never works. Now the season hasn't even started and questions are piling up. Holding fast. Fans want their rookie QB to be the next big thing, but this situation feels less like skepticism and more like dread. If Dart doesn't shine soon, the blame won't stop at him. It'll fall on the front office, scouts, coaches, maybe even ownership, and New York media never goes easy. The Giants passed on a proven leader with NFL pedigree and elite accuracy, and instead gambled on potential that already looked shaky, while the guy they ignored gained support and credibility by the day. Every underthrown pass or broken play from Dart is getting dissected, and whispers inside the building say some staff members are already questioning whether he's the guy or just another entry in the long list of failed experiments. Giants fans remember when Daniel Jones was supposed to be the answer, and watching the franchise make what looks like the same mistake again is baffling. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is out there working, focused, and ready to make every team that passed on him regret it. The moment he steps onto an NFL field, every highlight he makes will be compared directly to whatever Dart is doing in New York. Analyst Pete Prisco even gave the Giants a C for the pick, not because Dart can improve, but because he believes the Giants don't have time to wait. New York is a win-now market, and if Dart can't deliver fast, this could spiral into coaching changes, front office firings, or a full rebuild. The NFC East doesn't hand out wins, and while rivals make power moves, the Giants are hoping their rookie can survive training camp. And the Josh Allen comparison? Completely unfair. Allen is a once-in-a-generation physical talent who had a full development system built around him, while Dart is being asked to lead a quarterback-starved franchise immediately. McCoy called out the comparison, saying the Giants didn't just reach, they reached massively. Social media erupted on draft night with fans confused how Shedeur, with his production, IQ, and Hall of Fame pedigree, got passed over in favor of a maybe. Sanders grew up around greatness and carries himself with calm, humble confidence, yet the Giants still said we're good. Cowherd even called the pick a cover-up, saying the franchise was trying to hide years of quarterback failures with a flashy emotional choice instead of picking proven talent. And now the uncomfortable truth looms. What happens if Sanders lands in the perfect system with the right coach, teammates, and support? If he blows up, and many believe he will, the Giants will become the poster child for draft day regret. This isn't just about one bad decision. It's about a pattern of missing at the most important position in sports. No one in the building wants to admit Sanders could have been the guy, and they let him walk. Now the pressure is sky high, with Dart under a microscope and every snap judged, not only on merit, but against Sanders' performance elsewhere. If Dart keeps stumbling, as multiple reports already claim, this won't just be a failed pick. It'll be a franchise-altering mistake. What is success? Meanwhile, Sanders gets to be the underdog with a chip on his shoulder, and every big moment he produces will silently remind the world of who the Giants passed on. New York can't undo the pick. One quarterback is fighting to stay afloat, while the other has a chance to become a superstar. Giants fans are left asking, is Dart really the answer? Are they ready to be patient again? Or are we watching history repeat itself? Because if Sanders becomes the quarterback everyone believed he could be, and Dart keeps struggling, this won't just be a bad pick. It'll be the moment the Giants fumbled their future. Let's see how it plays out. Don't forget to subscribe for more unfiltered NFL drama and bold takes you won't hear anywhere else.